welcome to the Just Zander podcast. I'm your host, Zander Gray, and this is episode 20. It's August. It's August now. Let me turn myself up real quick. If you are watching the video, I felt like wearing a shirt today. I hope you don't mind. I've been feeling a little weird lately, I suppose. Maybe it's just today. Maybe it's today. I'm not too sure. But today I want to talk to you about accountability, okay? And you know what it means? It's really the accountability of yourself. And, today I wanted to touch base on the only person that you can really control is yourself. And, you need to check your ego and then hold yourself accountable. But also, if you have friends, family that you either love and respect and you want the best for them, you also have to hold them accountable. But then I'll get into that. You don't have to. There's a way of doing it. I've learned this. It took me a while. I'm still learning. Again, I had a conversation with a really good friend of mine, and when you get to my age, I'm 33 now, and you think about, you say things like you want to get better. You say things like, I want to achieve the things that you want to achieve. You want to be successful. And what exactly are you doing towards that? And I think it all comes down with mind, body, and soul. Like you have to be physically healthy, because if you do anything physical, whatever, it generates endorphins and dopamine and all that to make yourself feel good. Your mind has to be right and your soul has to be right. And I've had problems with being angry about how other people are reacting or acting. And, I had a conversation with a friend, my friend, and he's like, well, you can't control that. Why is that person really pissing you off? Is it you? You have to check your ego, because stuff like that shouldn't bother you, because they're not, in a sense, worth your time. Like, when you're pissed off, when you feel entitled, when you feel like, hey, that guy didn't respect me or that girl didn't respect me, why is he acting that way? Well, that's your ego. For as far as you know, that guy don't even think about you. It comes down to your ego. I'll give you an example. It happened to me. And I'll keep it small. I'm not talking about friends or family. This is just some random person, okay? So I was driving home, and this guy completely cut me off. And usually, it doesn't bother me. Usually, I'm just like, okay, whatever. But because of the state of mind that I'm in, I was uncomfortable in my car. It was hot as shit. It's been hot lately, and my AC doesn't work anymore, and I refuse to pay that lump sum of money to have it fixed. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just deal with it. He cut me off, and I was not having a good day. I think in general, I just kind of, at the time, I just feel unfulfilled and whatever. I was too in my head. This guy cut me off, and it just threw me off. I honked, and usually, if I were to do something like that, I would like raise my hand and just like kind of wave like, hey, my bad. Like, that was my bad. And I didn't see any of that. I drove. I didn't follow him. We were going the same route. And I just ended up being behind him. And I wanted to see his face and just stared at him because I was angry. And then just for that split second, I thought, why? Why? What is that going to do? What is that going to do? Nothing. It's going to do nothing. So you feel better about yourself? No, you're not going to, because you're just going to get mad. That guy probably wasn't even thinking about it. He's going to look at you, probably laugh, and then you're going to get angry. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. And my friend was saying, like, well, is your ego? You couldn't let it go. Why? What was it bothering you? And I said that, he's good at asking, he's good at talking. I mean, he's good at asking me questions. And I just said, what I just said, like, what it was probably the day. I just wasn't comfortable. Usually it doesn't bother me. I've been annoyed by some of my friends for not taking the time to, I asked for help is what it is. I asked for help and I had no sort of response in a way that I, to the friends that I hold dear, and that's my ego, because I feel bad. I feel underappreciated. I feel that I'm not enough. I feel like I'm not worth their time. And I hate feeling that way. But again, it's the ego, you just, and that's also on me to kind of tell them, like, not in an angry way, because there's a certain way to talk to someone. There's a certain way to communicate. And I had to learn this our way. I'm still learning. It's so foreign to me, but I have to be open to it, and I am open to it. It's just something that I've never thought about, because I am very brash. I'm very aggressive. I'm very in your face. I'm passionate. I'm this big ball of energy. If you heard my past podcast, I am that person, and I'm trying to, and I'm doing my best to get better at communicating, better at leading, better at being a better example to other people, a best version of me. But that's all me. That's me. It's not like a fake version of me. The best version of me that's good. That's everything that I want. Anyway, back to the story. So I was annoyed with my friends, and I just, and he told me, you have, then you have to you have to be accountable too. You have to tell them, hey, when I did this, you didn't do this, and it kind of hurts my feelings. And then the ball is on their court. At least you put yourself out there and let them think about it, And you can't do it in an angry way. You can't do it in a forceful way. It has to be truthful. Also, I forgot to write this down. I'm going to write this down. And he said, whatever you do in life, or when you communicate, what is your intention of the communication? Is it out of love? Is it out of anger? Is it out of... The intent has to be good. It should always be good. The intention should always be good, should always come out of love or truth, in my opinion. Full disclaimer, full discretion, I forgot to say this in the beginning. I'm not an expert. I am learning as I go, as you will. I am just sharing my journey with you, and I hope it helps. I hope you can relate to it. I need to get better at promoting this thing, get better at engaging my audience, whoever's listening. I'm so new to this, and I need to get better. And back to the story. And so what's the intent behind the message? What is the intent of the communication? Like, are you saying out of love, out of truth? But it cannot be out of anger, because then the message is completely disregarded, in my opinion. So, and this falls on me. I did not want to do that. Tell them, like, hey, you hurt my feelings because, and he asked me why. Then why couldn't you do that? You know why? Because I'm fucking afraid. I'm afraid that they don't see me as a good friend. They don't see me as somebody worthwhile. I'm afraid that depending on their reaction, depending on what they say, it's going to leave a mark on me that I don't know if I can handle. And it comes down to my past. I've always been alone. Yeah, I have friends or whatever, but I've always been alone in my head, in my mind, and whatever I do. Yeah, I genuinely don't know what it is. I remember growing up. I'll give you a story, okay? When I was younger, for the life of me, I don't remember how old I was. I was very, very young. This is back home. This is back in Singapore, okay? And I remember, I don't know, I don't know if they were close friends of mine or not. I remember saying, hey, you should come over. We can go out. We can do stuff. We can go to the mall or whatever. I remember and I was very young, very young. This is the time where you can do stuff like that. This is the time where you can just go out and do your own thing. Give me a second. So I got excited that, today's the day. Today's the day that I get to hang out with my friends. And I put out my clothes, the shirt that I was going to wear, the shorts or the pants that I was going to wear. I'm going to look good. I'm going to feel good. I'm going to hang out with my friends. And I laid it on the bed. I remember this vividly. I laid it on the bed and I'm just waiting. I didn't know their phone number. I didn't call them. This is before cell phones. I'm that old, people. And I was sitting on the front door. I was just waiting. The main door was open. You got your screen door or whatever. Back then, it was just a gate. I remember sitting and just waiting. And I hear sounds. I hear people running down the stairs. The elevator is going. People are screaming, yelling. And I'm just sitting there waiting. They didn't show up. It got late. And I just go back, folded my clothes, put it away. I think I just laid in bed. I just laid in bed and I just got lost in my mind. Meaning, I just went to a place in my head that's not reality. I went in my head to escape because I was bummed out. I was sad. I was heartbroken. And I think that carried over. I think that carried over even now. So whenever I say that I want to do something, I will do it. I will do my best to not cancel. And if I do cancel, I will let you know. So my fear so come back to the story, my fear of not letting them know or putting them accountable is because I fear that the answer that they give me or the reaction that they're give me, or even no response or no action is going to be the type of reaction that I cannot handle. And then I'll come back to this place and I'll go in my head. I'll get lost in my head to escape reality. Or I'll work on music. I've been playing this game because sometimes life feels like it feels so hard to handle sometimes that I have to not think about it. You have your goals, your ambitions, your pressure, all the pressure and all the stress. You have people telling you it's okay. Sometimes it's not okay. Sometimes you get mad. And the only thing you can control is yourself. So what are you doing to get better? What am I doing to get better? I'm putting myself in this position where I need to start thinking about what I want, period. it's funny. I brought that story. I don't think I've told that story to anybody. It just kind of came up, and that's real. That's the truth. That's what happened when I was a kid. And, you got stood up. And then whenever you get stood up, stand up, anyway, whenever it happens again, you just, at least for me, you're like, okay, I'm going to get lost in my head to escape. And growing up Asian, you bottle that up, and it's not healthy. You don't ask for help. Sometimes you don't even work on yourself. You're like, okay, you move on. And that's not healthy. Here's another thing that I do, okay? I guess today's episode is about my flaws and stuff that I need to work on. And I'm okay with that. I'm sharing it with you. Is most of the things that I do, that sounds kind of weird. Almost all of the things that I do, most of the time, is out of spite. Hold on. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm on the podcast. You're getting recorded right now.
I'm gonna hang up. I love you. Bye.
Okay, bye. That's my wife. This is real, people. I'm not stopping and recording. Anyway, she's hanging out with a friend. I think she's calling to let me know that she's on her way home. So you might be hearing dogs barking, a bit. But anyway, that was funny. So where am I? Okay, most of the things that I do most of the time is out of spite because I have a chip on my shoulder. Okay? And sometimes I'm so used to people saying, you can't do that. That doesn't make sense. You're not going to make it. You're not going to be successful. You're not enough. You don't sound good. I hate your voice. Poor quality, mediocre. All the things that you can think about. I've heard it. And in my head, and in everything in my being, that the energy that I store, the energy that I put out, the energy that I'm harnessing is, I'll show you. I'll show you that I can do it, and I'll show you that I will do it better. Now, the question is that healthy? I don't know. I don't know. So my fear is, if I were to finish my goals, if I were to complete the goals that I set out for myself, right? Now, depending if they're out of spite because I have a chip on my shoulder, depending on what those goals are, when I achieve them, now, did I do it out of spite? Did I do it? Is that going to make me happy? If it doesn't make me happy, then what's going to happen? If I do achieve it, you make other goals? Whatever. There's so many variables going on. I'm wearing the shirt. You can probably see my sweat stains. Yep. Whatever. Sorry, if you're watching the video, I talk with my hands a lot, so I don't know. I'm figuring it out. And it might take me a lifetime to figure out. I'm here to tell you, I'm here to talk about the journey. So the only person that you can control is yourself. You have to check your ego. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to hold the people that you love, the friends and family that you love, also accountable. But when you communicate with them, what is the intention what is the intent behind what you're going to say, depending on what it is? It has to be out of love, out of truth. And that's really all I can think of. It has to be out of love and out of truth. But it can't be out of anger. It can't be out of anything that's, Mostly anger, because that's what I deal with, you know. Because I'm angry. And why am I angry? I don't know. I don't know. Am I happy? Yes, of course. I am. I'm still hungry for the things I want, but that's normal. That's with most of things. But so lately, I feel a little bit unfulfilled, and I need to figure it out. And the only thing that I can do is to go inside my head, to not escape, but to communicate with myself, to ask myself those difficult, uncomfortable questions that I need to face, that I need to answer. And I need to start doing that. It's going to make me uncomfortable. I need to start talking to my friends and family and telling them what has been bothering me, and the intent has to be out of love and out of truth, because then I can be free, man. I can be free. I am who I am in my head, but that person in my head, or the collective in my head that I talk to in this panel, I'll get into that soon enough. That sounds crazy when I say it out loud. The panel in my head is a collective of your anger, your desires, your passion, love, everything. You know what's funny? I relate to this because I talked to a friend of mine, and when he was younger, he did that. He went inside his head to talk to this panel of different sides of himself. So he can he plays what ifs, and if that happened, what are you gonna do? If this is gonna happen, what are you gonna do? If I say this, what's gonna happen? He plays those scenes in his head so he can better understand the situation. I do that too. And if you can't relate, I apologize, because that sounds fucking crazy as shit. But I talk to myself. I go inside my head to escape. I go inside my head to really think about things as much as I can. So what is this podcast about today? I think it's about controlling yourself and checking your ego, holding yourself accountable, holding your friends and family accountable. And you have to do it out of love and out of truth. I want to be honest. I want to be truthful. I want to speak my mind. And I have been. But the hard part is to say it correctly, you know? So there's going to be a lot of people out there that's not going to agree with you. There's going to be a lot of people out there that's going to think you're crazy, but that's okay, man. Like I said, I've always been alone. Hold on a second. This microphone is making this weird. Oh, God, I hate this. It's like bothering me. It's this sound. Anyway, so I had to talk about that because I was angry, man. I was angry. Maybe it's accumulation of things, but I'm going to leave you at that. I'm going to ask you a question, and I hope that you can answer truthfully, you know? Do you check your ego sometimes? Do you hold yourself accountable? Do you speak your truth? And that if in that truth, the intent behind it, is it out of love? I'll leave you at that. What am I grateful for? We've reached the end of the show and the segment. What I am grateful that I am open to learning. I'm grateful that I'm open to doing uncomfortable things to get better, man. I need to get better. I need to get my mind right, my soul right. Body, I'm okay. I'm doing okay in the body section. I think I've been working out. I've been pretty physical with things I do. I ride my bike. So I think I'm okay in that department. But I have to get my mind and my soul right. And I have to question myself, and I have to reevaluate my goals and reevaluate my life. If I'm living to the best that I can for me, and that I have to be honest with it. And I have to figure out if it's out of spite, or because I have a chip on my shoulder, or is it because I genuinely want to do that and it's going to make me happy and fulfilled. I have to figure that out. I'm 33, so it's okay. I'm still young. I'll figure it out. I'll take my time. So, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for believing. I'm grateful that I believe in myself, and I believe the things that I do, that I'm open to uncomfortability, because I'm here to grow and evolve and learn and refine and execute the actions that I've learned, and then let's do it all over again. Anyway, thank you for listening. If you can, I implore you, I'm asking you, if you watch it on YouTube, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, ask me questions. Likewise for if you're listening to Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please rate and review. Hit me up, man. Hit me up, talk to me. I am very open to having a conversation. I'm very open to discuss things, and I want to learn. I've been talking to a lot of people lately. You can find me on Instagram at justzander.com. At justzander.com. What the hell? And Instagram at justzander, and everything else is at justzandergray. I have a new single out that I released about, I want to say 2 weeks ago, called On Time. It's been doing well. I like the song. The next one's going to be, it's called Enough, August 11th. And then the following month, anyway, I'm going to do the promotion for that. So it's going to be out there. Anyway, have a great day. Have a great time of your life, because the time is right now. So enjoy it, and peace.